designs, 809, trying to find which are divine and which are just fine. From Abra to wireless, the bland and eclectic, they're gonna realize it's not very effective. What's up, trainers? Welcome to the Pokemon Podcast. It's Not Very Effective, Episode 2. If you've ever seen a Pokemon, that's enough to judge it. We're your hosts, the one who cares about Pokemon, Light Travel, aka LT, and I'm gonna interrupt him here. But this is the mean, bad cop, bad man, bad cop of the series that favors Gen 1 and doesn't like your Pokemon, does not like your franchise.
It's bad.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jacob.
I'm Jacob.
Oh, shit, I said it now.
I'm Jacob, aka the Butcher of Blaviken.
And there you go. This is the show where we create an objective, unquestionable, definitive rank list of all Pokemon complete with all our prejudice and bias. Each episode we randomly select 3 Pokemon, pit them against each other, then figure out where to put them in the complete list, except for last episode when we didn't have a list, but now we do. So Peter can rest easy knowing that no harm will come to these fictional creatures of near human intelligence and that they are merely being judged harshly on their physical appearance. Before we start, I just want to point out my throat is sort of messed up today because I'm taking, I'm on the steroids. I'm on the, what do you call when you eat it with your mouth? Pills, rather than spray it up your nose. You don't spray pills up your nose, but you get what I'm getting at here.
The pills is an appropriate title, I think.
Yeah, what is the word for it?
I don't remember.
It doesn't matter. So...
all I know is that suppository is up the ass.
Yeah. I'm not doing any of those this week. Not this week, maybe next week. I haven't decided yet. So yeah, that is all in service of rising from the ashes like a majestic Moltres. I don't have an opinion on that Pokemon one way or another at the moment. We couldn't possibly, but...
that would be ridiculous.
No, that would be ridiculous. How's your week been having a favorite Pokemon again, Jacob? How's your life changed now that Poliwhirl is your favorite Pokemon?
The craziest thing has happened. It's Muck.
But I thought Muck wasn't your favorite anymore.
Yeah, neither is Poliwhirl.
I guess that's fair. But Poliwhirl is your favorite, though, officially in canon. Sure. Podcast canon. Okay, let's stop fucking around and just choose the Pokemon for this week. Number 1, Fraxure.
Alright.
I don't think I've ever said that Pokemon's Fraxure's name before. Number 2. Binacle. Okay, this is going to be an episode. I'll tell you right now, this is going to be an episode.
It sure is.
No, this is going to be a motherfucking episode, man.
It sure is an episode.
There's going to be And number 3, let me just preface this by saying this is the Pokemon choice. If you go to patreon.com/notverycast, every month you can get a vote to use on any Pokemon you want, and we will pick the one with the most votes at the time of recording the episode. You can get much more there as well. I didn't explain this that well last time. I was going to use the word lottery this time, but apparently Patreon has a problem with lotteries and giveaways. So I actually had to change my plan on that for now. And it's possible it'll change again because I haven't got confirmation back that this current system is alright either. Though I have taken out the random chance. So I figure that should make it not a lottery anymore, and that should be fine now. But I'll update you as we go. Number 3. Which would be the people's choice.
If there were people to choose.
Yeah. Give me money. Dragonair.
Okay.
Got a Gen 1 up in here.
Ooh.
Jacob's gonna favor that one.
Shut up. You're gonna make me quit.
Oh no. Episode 2, he's already gonna quit. Okay, the Pokédex... Yeah, the Pokédex numbers for these. Fraxure is number 611. Binacle is number 688. And Dragonair is number 148. Last week, we were doing a lot of... Well, I want to say we were suffering from a curse. A curse of sorts. You could call it lycanthropy, but it'd be spelled a bit differently. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to point this out, because all the people that I got feedback on this episode for, they didn't mention it. But once I go back and listen over it for various reasons, I'm like, you motherfuckers, I hate you. You're saying like so much. You're saying the word like so much. Like, the full moon is out and you've turned into like a terrible monster that is a person that repeats the word like over and over as word filler. And I wanted to bring that up to like embarrass ourselves out of doing it ever again.
Hopefully.
And become better at speaking. At the art of podcasting. So I guess...
Art.
Huh?
Fine art.
Yeah, exactly. It will be. Okay, so let's go through... What do you think of Fraxure?
I like all of it.
Get a bit closer to the mic.
I like all of it generally. The one issue I might have is that it has plain wings in its mouth. It looks like it's about to fucking lift off. It's goofy.
I mean...
Everything else is fine. Not a fan of the plain wings in its mouth.
What if it was a flying Pokemon? Would you like it then? We're back on another dragon Pokemon, by the way.
So arguably it is a flying Pokemon.
That's not how that works, though.
I know it isn't, but I just wanted to say that.
There's a lot of dragon Pokemon, including this one probably, that don't fly. I don't think... I mean, I don't know. I guess it's arguable at this point with the mouth wings, but... We're gonna assume that it doesn't fly.
Well,
with those jet plane wings coming out of its mouth.
So, basically, Fraxure is a World War I biplane.
Well, its head alone.
Yeah.
The rest of its body is something else. Around its neck makes me think of a toilet seat. Maybe like an alien toilet seat.
Well,
I don't know. It's not exactly like...
What's an alien toilet seat?
I don't... Like, it looks like a toilet seat, but it's more like rounded and spiky as of... You know what I mean? Like if you...
You know what aliens usually sit on?
If you went into like a...
If you went into a spaceship...
If you went into like a xenomorph spaceship, then you would expect the toilet seat to be like pointy and shit, wouldn't you? It wouldn't... Like something that would not look out of place on an alien spaceship.
I suppose.
Where they take a shit. But they're aliens. So it's still basically a hull with the biplane coming out of it right now. That's what I'm seeing.
So this is like that piece of art from however long ago that was a urinal crossed with a biplane.
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
I might not be aware of what you're talking about at all.
I don't remember exactly what it was called, but there was once a urinal made to be a piece of art as a statement and of sorts. I don't remember exactly what the statement was. But anyway.
I feel like I like this one less the more I look at it. Like,
Its arms are too small.
I'm saying I'm doing it again, but look at this split in color right in the middle. It's like it's wearing a green alien toilet jumper with a hood.
Yeah, that's what it actually looks like. Is it's wearing a fucking crop top hoodie.
Yo, like one of those... What do you call them? The puffy jackets? Like, cause look at the shoulders.
Yeah, I don't know, like,
Like, I don't mind the colors, but it's just the way they utilized. It's like he's wearing a jumper.
it's like they accidentally put a line down the middle of it, and then they used the green bucket fill for the whole thing, but it didn't cover the whole thing because of the line, so now it's only half.
Yeah. I wonder if it'd look better if, like, the bottom half was just green as well. I don't like the trying to be Bulbasaur with the three patterns on it like that. It just seems like a worse version. Yeah, and the legs and the arms, I generally don't like how they look either.
They're very stumpy.
Yeah, the legs is yeah.
I don't feel threatened by this thing.
Yeah, I feel like I could just push it over and it wouldn't be able to get back up because of its small ass arms.
This is a very bizarre
You know,
dragon.
that's probably what the plane wing face is for, to like get it back up, maneuver itself back up.
They start fucking...
They're longer than the arms. At least, I think. Let's have a look at the sprite. Yeah, they're really long.
Jesus Christ.
It must have evolved these to get back up without the use of its useless arms.
They get pushed over, and then they just kind of glide on the wings, and just go, wee, I'm back up.
Yeah. Probably like rock back and forth. It probably looks really funny. Probably something I'd laugh at.
I don't know what it is about it, but something says to me that it's like you could replace this with fucking Grandpa Simpson in that picture where it says old man screams at cloud, and it would fit.
Yeah, he's screaming at that cloud right now in the official art.
Well, I guess if you have a biplane face, you'd often be screaming at clouds.
And I don't want to let us be distracted by the plane wings on the mouth from the actual mouth that is like a sort of a bird mouth that I don't really like either. Where are its teeth?
Where do the wings start and finish exactly?
It's hard to say. I think the only thing I'm really down for here is the eye.
Yeah, the eye's fine. Eye's absolutely fine. No issues with the eye.
I think the rest of it just doesn't come together very well. Man, are we gonna be the like have a problem with dragon types guys?
Yes.
Well, actually, we do have another dragon type today, so let's
Oh yeah, that's true.
not get too ahead of ourselves here. Any other first thoughts on Fraxure?
Um,
The tail's just sort of there. It's a tail. Dragons need them.
it sure is a tail. I don't have any complaints about the tail, but it's just a tail.
I don't have any complaints, I guess, because I have so many other complaints, but it's still, like, that sure is a tail on a dragon. I mean, whatever. There's stuff I can actually complain about here, so I'm not going to go too hard on a standard tail.
I'm not sure how those 3 claws would keep it stabilized on its feet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's part of why the tail exists, because tails help for stabilizing.
True.
But I mean, we're talking about designs here. We're not talking about real life application of...
Biplane wings.
The wings are unfortunate because I feel like there's a design where those wings would work and it'd be like a good, unique aspect. But they just fail here.
It just has mouth wings, and I don't know where they start or finish, and it's kind of confusing. And if it were to fly with those, it would be hanging by its face.
Can you just imagine it like running in the air and it's oh man. Yeah, this Pokemon sort of just looks silly. Unfortunately. Let's move on to Binacle. Because I said this was going to be a motherfucking episode.
Speaking of silly.
Yeah, speaking of fucking silly.
So, okay, go back to the page first.
Yeah.
Two-handed Pokemon. I have an inherent issue with that.
Okay.
If all it is 2 hands, then would you call it something that is two-handed?
Jacob, I don't even think we should get into like the Pokemon classifications because they get really fucking stupid.
We'll ignore that, but on the record...
Because I would say this has no hands and just 2 fucking heads.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Is it's
But I mean, we could probably have a whole nother podcast on Pokemon classifications alone.
Yep.
So we'll save that for when we run out of Pokemon to judge
We'll save that for
on their appearance.
episode 98.
No, we've got a while, dude. We've got a while. There's a lot of these.
Are they meant to look like their boxes? Because that's what the brown's looking like. It looks like one of those headgear things that a boxer would put on when they're sparring.
Maybe. They look like two cross between Master Shake and Frylock, like on each stick. I don't like it.
Those claws look like bananas.
I hate the claws.
They look like bananas.
The middle claw looks like it's two claws put together, like it's doing like the Spock sign.
Its face also, if not boxing headgear, resembles a baseball glove.
Yeah. I hate its face.
Cone-necked baseball glove face. Literally like the fucking patterns for a cone, a road cone.
It's funny because this is one of the ones I was thinking about when I'm like, when we get this one, I fucking hate this one. I really hate this design. It's terrible.
Like, I'm actually very confused by this. Like, how's it meant to do anything ever? Like, it's...
I don't know. I think you need to answer the question of if those are two hands or are they two heads.
Can they hit? Can they walk around? Because it doesn't have feet.
Imagine it walking... Well, it probably just... It flips its stone up and then just uses the hand faces as feet.
Oh, yeah. It uses those big, clunky-ass claws to balance with.
Yeah, I mean, it's meant to be a barnacle, but... And barnacles are not supposed to move, I guess.
Suppose.
Well, look, there are worse Pokemon for, like, think about any water Pokemon throwing it out for a battle on land. Like, that shouldn't work properly.
I guess, yeah.
So they sort of end up just floating. So we can assume that its rock just comes with it. It could probably jump around. I haven't seen one in the show or anything, but it can probably just jump around and, smack a bitch with either face. That doesn't make me like it anymore, though.
It's got the short and tall thing going on as well, which I'm honestly sick of seeing. That kind of. I'm sick of seeing the short and tall disparity in all media.
I don't mind that because it's like a balance thing. It's. You would think it would flare up my OCD, but it actually calms it if it's done right. I don't have a problem with... What I have a problem with here is, why is it the same face? Generally with Pokemon, like, when they do something like this, they will have a different face.
Yeah.
On a different head. I feel like this may have benefited from having a different face on one of them. Like, Executor or Execute, they all have different faces. This face is not... I hate this face, so I don't want to see it twice.
Angry React. It's literally just the Angry React emoji. I'm not okay with this.
There's nothing I like about this except the idea of a barnacle Pokemon. But there are so many better ways to do it than whatever this was trying to be.
Even then, the idea of a barnacle Pokemon is kind of like, eh.
Can you rip off the brown thing?
Is it a mask or is it part of its skin?
I don't know, man. I just want to know if you can rip it off so I can rip it off and tell it that I don't like it. Even underneath it, I don't like it. I'm being really mean. Like this, they can't help that they look like this, but... I hate this one, dude. It's so bad.
Like, it looks angry. The eyebrow is pressing. I guess it's meant to be an eyebrow or like a forehead. Anger.
Its face looks like there's a transparent image that you can add to like a face on a picture of it getting punched. It looks like the effect of being punched without the fist in its face. It looks like it has been punched in the face, and that is how it looks now.
Its face is retracted and it hasn't popped back out yet.
Yeah. And they're not happy about it either. Maybe they looked worse before they got punched.
It actually looks like something that would just be done for comic effect. Like, they would do some exaggerated shit with its face after it gets punched, and then its face would pop back out like, no, I'm back to normal, except it's fucking stuck in punch face.
Yeah, a character would look like this for a second.
Exactly. And they cartoonishly bounce out of it. I'm not a fan of this.
No.
Banana split head fucking rock. Just, I'm not okay with it. There's nearly nothing redeeming about it at all.
What would you say is redeeming about it? And we can't just say the idea. I mean, like, design-wise, like, what it actually looks like. What do you think is actually redeeming about this?
I mean, the rock sure is a rock.
Did you push this mic in properly?
Should have done.
Okay, I'm just checking, because your mic sounds quieter. But, whatever.
Do you adjust the levels?
No, everything's the same. Well, whatever.
Okay.
Should be fine.
I don't know, man. Like, it's the only positive thing I can say about it is the fucking rock looks like a rock.
Yeah, even then, not the most interesting looking rock.
Nope. Yeah.
But yeah. Just like the tail on Fraxure, I can't go too hard on a rock.
Not a fan of 688.
No, Binacle. Bad. Let's move on to Dragonair. Actually, let's have a quick look at the sprite for Binacle.
Oh yeah, we didn't do that.
I mean, any excuse to talk shit about it some more. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that doesn't change anything at all.
No.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on to Dragonair. What do you think of Dragonair?
Okay, so something I've noticed that I've never noticed up until now. Dragonair is a bit too bold.
Okay, Jacob, how would you fix that? Because
I don't know, I'm just saying.
what do you mean bold exactly?
I never...
Doesn't have any. It doesn't have any hair anywhere else. Do you mean hair?
No.
Or do you just mean that the top of its head should have something else on it because it looks weird? Looks like a bald guy. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it literally looks like a bald dude. It looks like at some point in time down the genetic line, this was a human baby.
Okay. I mean, you're doing a lot to make this worse for me, but I don't know. I really like Dragonair.
I mean, I believe you said it at some point that like, I don't have the same bias that you might.
Well, okay, no, it's not biased. I just mean design alone. I like Dragonair. I mean like in terms of dragon types alone, like
it's more of a snake thing.
Well, no, it's one of those types of, I don't know what you'd call it. Not really. I mean, leaning more towards like
Chinese dragon.
Chinese dragon, but without the arms.
Right.
But all the just the long snake-like body.
Yeah. Because Chinese dragons were typically more snaky.
Yeah. And then the simple wings on its head. And the horn does a lot to, because think what it would look like without the horn.
It'd look even more like a human baby.
I guess if that's still how we want to put it.
I just don't like babies.
I don't like babies either, man. If babies were being ranked in this list, they would be at the bottom, even below Binacle.
The orb on the chest, or the neck, or the chest, or the neck,
there's no need, Jacob.
is kind of weird.
It's like a bow tie.
I guess.
It is weird looking at designs that I've generally thought that I liked in the past and just picking them apart like this. Because when you think about, look at that orb, look at that horn, you start to think, its tail sort of looks like could be used as a dildo or something.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit long at the end of it, but the general, you could...
It would work.
It'd work, it'd do the job.
I do like how the tail is actually kind of threaded through the orbs. Like, it makes the orbs feel a little less out of place.
Yeah.
Because the one on its, like, front feels a little out of place. Like...
I think I generally like the added flair to make it a bit more than what it is. I think it generally works.
I think one of the...
I like the affectation of a bow tie. I think it works.
I think the issue I have with it is, like, the tail being threaded through the orbs sets up the idea of fixation of the orbs. And then you look at the orb on the front of it, and there's no fixation point.
So you're like, how is that even stuck on there?
Yeah, so like in my head, if the tail is setting up that they're threaded, sort of, then like the design feels inconsistent, sort of.
I mean, I get what you mean, but I don't know. I don't find myself. Well, I guess I do because we were talking about Fraxure and its stupid plain face. I guess I don't know. Let's just say that it used the horn to drill out those other orbs.
It's not that big of a problem to me. It's just like it's more of a thing. I see it and it's kind of.
I mean, it's a consideration that I guess could bug you the more you look at it.
Yeah. One thing I really like about Dragonair though is the use of the red eyes. Like particularly using red, the contrast is really nice.
The color scheme in general is really good. All the blues and the white. And yeah, the eyes just for that little bit of red.
The contrast is really, really nice. I think that's like the first overly positive thing I've said on this podcast, but yeah.
I mean, I feel like we were pretty positive about Poliwhirl.
I did say it looked alien in a good way.
But yeah, you're meant to be the bad cop.
I'm allowed to like things.
No, I know. That's the funny thing about this because... Generally, I'm probably way more critical about things than you are.
Yeah.
So it's sort of weird for you to be the hard ass on this one. Let's have a look at the sprite. Actually, there's this picture here of Dragonair flying. Speaking of using weird head things to fly, I've never seen that, but there's like a sun and moon screenshot of it using the head wings to fly.
I think I'm more okay with that instead of seeing like...
It's sort of cute. I just didn't think about it that way. I don't know, I don't think it...
I think I'm more okay with that. Like, you look at Fraxure and it's got the plain wings in its mouth. And that feels like it's got a clunky-ass body and the plain wings are sort of clunky as well. So, like, the whole dynamic doesn't work. But then...
I just didn't even...
Dragonair has like this whole air snake dynamic where it just kind of through the air, and that works for me.
I just didn't even think about it flying using those. I thought it would just fly through like fuckery of just it just flies because it
just whips itself.
Would just like fly like it squirms through the air, basically.
Sprite's fine.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if it gave us a different perspective on it, but not really.
Not overly. Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing that stands out for me is the color scheme with Dragonair. I think it
is solid.
It's the most interesting thing to me.
But I do like the design overall.
Yeah. Just the front orb and it being kind of bold just stick out. But they're not too overtly negative. They're just things that mark it down slightly.
I do wonder if you removed either the tail orbs or the bow tie orb, if it would be improved by just having one or the other. Not to say that I think it looks too busy. I really don't think this looks busy at all. I think it strikes the perfect balance of having enough on it while still being simple overall, but... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if it'd be better.
You know,
I feel like if you kept the bow tie one and removed the tail one, it'd be like there's too much stuff on the head and the rest is just nothing.
Yeah. I think what might be a nice alternative is to do some Tony Stark style thing with the orb slightly embedded lower in its chest.
Like actually in its chest.
Yeah, like half sticking out.
That could work.
I feel like that could be nice.
Put it on its bald ass head to put something there. Make it really shiny. I don't know, man. That was why I wanted to look at the sprite,
that
actually.
would be an improvement for me, personally. Like,
Because I feel like
it was embedded in the chest.
I feel like it's not always facing down like it is in the official art. So if you just move its head up to like, looking straight ahead, then I feel like you don't get... This is why I don't always want to go on just the official art, because sometimes they get posed in a particular way.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if it was just looking straight ahead with the horn up, you wouldn't get that as much.
True.
One thing I just thought of, though, is its neck is a little thin when compared to the thickness of the rest of its body.
Yeah.
Like, even just compared to its head.
It thins out quite a lot at the top.
It's more that if you're just looking at the head, though, that seems a bit weird. If you look at it as the whole thing, it works. If you get what I mean. But I just thought, just looking at the neck, it looked a little thin. Maybe if you remove the bow tie orb, that would actually get worse.
I reckon, thicken the neck, chuck the orb in the chest. Half exposed.
You wouldn't thicken it by much, though, I don't think.
Like a small amount.
You could even, not even just put the orb in the neck, but yeah, like you said, like, further down, maybe halfway down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We don't do this for a living. We just talk shit for not a living.
Exactly.
Okay, do you want to get into our preliminary rankings before we get to the main list? See if we actually have anything to argue about here.
I already know my ranking, and I think you have the exact same ranking.
It's possible.
I think
We'll see.
Yeah, I think you have the same ranking. I think it's almost definite that you have the same ranking.
I might have a bit of a similar thing as last time to some degree, but we'll see.
So
Not as much as last time, though.
my ranking:
Yeah.
Dragonair is at the top.
Okay.
Fraxure is second. Binacle
Yep.
is last.
Okay. That's generally where I'm at as well.
I knew it because we both disliked Binacle so much that I figured that
Before this show, Binacle was one of the ones in my head. I'm like, when we get this one, there's no holding back.
It looks so bad.
It is. It is so bad. I really don't like it.
It just reeks of new generation in the wrong ways.
Yeah, like the worst kind of new gen shit.
It's like
Fuck, it really is gonna look like we're just Gen 1ing. We're just Gen 1ing all day long.
Because well, I mean, that's the thing is, Gen 1, it felt like they were, fresh for ideas.
It's not just that, though. You have... Because this Binacle shit, I don't know what they were trying to do, but it's way too fucking busy. It's, like, what...
I don't like it.
They needed to unify this somehow and make it look like less of a clusterfuck. I think the claws and the face are the worst parts of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were fucking thinking. Because when you think about something like Go-Goat, that I would use as an example of the strengths of newer designs.
Right.
Where there's more to it overall than your typical Gen 1 design.
Yeah.
But it works. They're still using things sparingly. They're not going overboard. This is overboard.
This is
This is the definition of overboard.
I just don't like it. Too much going on, and what is going on is weird clusterfuck.
I almost don't want to say there's too much going on, but it's just bad. It just doesn't look good. There is more than there should be going on, I think, for something as simple as a Binacle. But even then, it's mostly just the execution.
Something else I just noticed about Binacle. It's got that face on that, when a cartoon character might be like chewing gum or something really drastically. It's got that face as well.
Yeah. You know what I did just think is it probably looks worse under the bag. And what the bag is that somebody tried to put a bag on its head and then it burst at the top because of the shitty spikes. So then it got stuck like that.
I'm just imagining it without the bag, and it's just some bulbous carrot-looking thing.
Yeah, I don't think it would be much of an improvement. The bag at least gives the face some kind of structure. I don't know. I don't even want to imagine what it would be like without
round
it.
and smooth out down there.
And it has these
smooth like a Barbie.
And it has these weird orange cheeks, circles, like Pikachu, but terrible.
Ovals.
Yeah, they're not even circle. I don't think there's anything about this that I actually like.
The rock is serviceable.
The rock could be more aesthetically pleasing, though.
Yeah.
If we want to judge rocks here, then, you know, this is a mid-tier rock. I can't believe we're actually judging how rocks look like, but this is a mid-tier rock. Definitely. And it's the best part of this whole thing. We're back on this again, too. So, okay.
I'll look at Fraxure again.
Yeah. So, I am the same preliminary ranking before we put it in the major list. Dragonair, Fraxure, and Binacle.
Yeah.
And I think there are huge power gaps between all of these. You would think that Binacle would be closer to Fraxure, but Binacle is just so fucking bad that...
It's way worse.
And Fraxure, at least... If they weren't... I don't know, I feel like the plain wing idea... The wings themselves don't look bad. I don't know, maybe there isn't such a power gap. I want to like the wings.
I want to know where they're coming from.
Yeah, you have made that point.
Like, are they just attached to the lips? Like, are they a replacement for jowls or something? I don't know what they're meant to be, or rather where they're sitting. Like, you can see where they're sitting literally, but it looks like they drew the wings somewhere else and dragged them onto it in post and just stuck them there.
Yeah.
Without much thought about where it connects.
Remove them from a plane and then pasted them on this.
Yeah.
It might even... I'm wondering if it would be better without them, but I don't think so.
I think it would be more bland, but it wouldn't be...
I don't think it'd help it at all. I think it's better that they're there, because at least it's more unique. I think that's the only thing that's, like, not making it as bad as it could be for me, besides the eyes.
The eyes are the best part, by far.
Yeah, and that's just because they're simple. They're not doing anything wrong. Because the rest of it is varying degrees of doing things wrong.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. Yeah, I think they're intended to be tusks, is what I'm getting. And tusks sort of come out of the mouth like that. I don't know, I'm not like a tusk expert, but just think of an elephant with plain wings coming out of it, where the tusks would be. If you want some sort of real world counterpart for it,
I suppose.
if that helps at all.
I mean, I guess.
But there is certainly a power gap between Fraxure and Dragonair for me.
For sure.
But I think the interesting part will be when we place all of these in the
wider list.
In the wider list. I think that's when we're gonna get into it. I think we're gonna have. I can feel we're gonna have different thoughts, so maybe we should get to that now.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I guess how I want to do this. We'll start off at the bottom. So we'll start off with Binacle and see where we want to place that in the list. I mean,
Binacle is worse than all of those.
Binacle is worse than all of those.
Binacle is the very, very bottom of the main list.
Yeah, and
Easily.
and even you saying that, like I was trying to be more lenient with Garchomp because there are parts of it I like.
Garchomp is definitely better than Binacle.
Definitely. There's no question about
I don't
this.
like Garchomp that much, but it's miles better.
Yeah. Okay. I figured that one would be pretty easy. I didn't. Binacle is one of the ones, man. Like this one's gonna be bad. Okay, so we got Fraxure next. I would say that's worse than Garchomp. What do you think? I'm curious.
See Fraxure again.
Okay. Because I think there are things on Garchomp that work. Even if they don't come together the best, I think it's overall more consistent than Fraxure.
It's actually a difficult one, that.
This is difficult for you?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, what's sticking out? Where's the problems for you?
Like, the whole body shape sort of comes off to me as, like, conventional Pokemon nothing shape. So it does its job.
He's bordering on dad bod. There are some dad bod Pokemon, and I'm going to point out every single one of them. This is bordering on it. This is maybe like a dad in his 30s. He hasn't let himself go too hard.
Garchomp again.
I'm starting to see why it's hard, because maybe Fraxure doesn't have a more terrible looking body than Garchomp does.
I'm gonna have to put Fraxure over Garchomp.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to fight this then, because I still think Fraxure doesn't beat Garchomp. Battle of the Dragons.
Like, Garchomp, its torso is way too small.
Yeah, you gotta convince me here.
And the neck, like, its body shape doesn't... It's a fucking mess. The neck's too big, the torso's too small, and then the legs look like they more fit the neck.
I wouldn't call the whole body a mess for Garchomp.
The tail and the legs and the neck work.
I think bottom down works fine. I think it's the midsection
Too small.
in terms of the head, and the midsection to the head is when it looks fucked up.
Like, the entire torso, arms, and the shark fin look fucking dumb. And it's way too thin. Like...
I don't know, I think the shark fin is a good part of the torso.
It's cheesy as shit, dude. Not a fan.
You're not a fan? Okay. I thought we agreed that it looked good on the Sprite.
It looks better on the Sprite.
Okay. I don't know, man. Fraxure...
I think the body type is just...
Think about all the...
For me, the main thing is it wins over because its body is more consistent. And its body matches... Like, it matches its own body.
I can't say that's unfair, but...
Because Garchomp just has a torso from a different Pokemon.
I don't like any of what Fraxure's doing here. Like, there are things on Garchomp that I like. I like the fin. I like the tail. I generally like the bottom half if you take away the spikes, or have less of them, maybe. This is just like, it has this weird fucking alien toilet hood shit. The colors look fucked up. Garchomp's colors we didn't have a problem with.
That's true.
Pretty much, yeah, I guess the red accents are fine. They work well enough.
Red accents are fine.
But I don't like this rip-off Bulbasaur shit that it's trying to do.
My main thing is just that the Fraxure's fucking body is consistent. Like, it fits itself. I see Garchomp, and I see that torso, and it looks like they took a baby Garchomp and transplanted the torso over.
That's not how Pokemon evolutions work, but okay, I'll forgive you on that, Jacob. You don't know a lot about Pokemon. They actually evolve from Pokemon into other Pokemon. I'm being an asshole.
I thought it was surgery.
Okay, no, yeah, I mean, sometimes. It's like C-sections. We're not all born the same. Some Garchomps are...
Born with a small chest.
Yeah, that's just a small-chested Garchomp, dude. Normally they're ripped, and they actually have a normal body. Okay, so are we at a standstill on this? Because
I don't feel convinced.
you don't. I don't feel convinced either.
I guess we're at a standstill.
Okay, then I want to bring out shinies. So what I wanted to do when we couldn't decide, basically, is have a sort of call it.
A
I was gonna
shiny or
well, shining round, or what was the other thing I was gonna call it? I had shining round
the lightning shine.
or shine breaker. I feel like shine breaker sounds
Breaker is
better.
better.
Okay, so like tiebreaker, but shine breaker.
Mm.
So this is the shine breaker. This is when we look at the shinies of two Pokemon that we're having trouble with, and we use that to determine which one we prefer. So I guess I'll find Garchomp shiny. We did look at it a little bit, but I'm gonna have to type here. Sorry for my loud ass keyboard.
Clickety clack. Type.
Okay. So here's Garchomp shiny. It's hard to tell actually. I think
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
which isn't.
Where is it? What? Which one?
I think it's just the bottom. Oh, I know why. There's two different. No, actually, I'm confused. It's clearly this one. Okay, yeah. So it's got the male, female, mega, and then the shiny male, female, and mega. So we're looking at the shiny male and female here, and then we'll see Fraxure's shiny. What do you think? Does this change anything for you?
If Fraxure always had this color scheme, I'd like it a lot more.
Yeah, you know what? I think I actually agree.
Like, if
This improves it.
that looks like that
This
comes
is-
off to me like a more gross-looking insecty thing, and that makes it way more complete.
This even makes like the toilet thing work for me
Oh yeah,
a lot more.
it looks more like an insect type that
It-
would pass as like kind of a weird
That particular green makes it work,
Mm.
I think.
with a light blue as well. Or
The light blue accents I much prefer to the red. It makes the eye look better too, I think.
definitely.
I still don't like the rip-off Bulbasaur shit, but whatever.
It looks way better. Like the color scheme being like that improves it because it makes all the weird looking appendages fit.
Yeah.
Because it makes me think of it in like a insect kind of context.
Garchomp, on the other hand, isn't a bad shiny, but
It's kind of just
it's not very interesting.
it's just a palette change, which is
Well, I mean, they're all palette changes,
well, yeah,
but
it's like it's way less of a drastic palette change.
it
I
looks
should've
like
said.
you'd raise the saturation a little bit.
Yeah, basically.
It's not very creative.
You raise the saturation on the darker shade of purple.
Fraxure, I think. I mean, for a shiny as well, this looks like it had a lot more thought put into it.
Oh yeah.
And I actually, if they'd made these the official colors, I would be a lot more forgiving on this design because it works better.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I kind of wish it was the
Even the
colours.
gray is just is a lot darker
Hmm.
as well. Yeah. You know, I hadn't seen Fraxure shiny before, but I think this does actually change it. I think I'll give you this one
Yeah.
because we're gonna be stuck anyway if I don't. But
Garchomp's shiny does not do enough.
no, I think this is a pretty easy decision when you take shinies into account.
Yeah.
I didn't think this would improve it as much as this. So yeah, that's Fraxure on the list
Over Garchomp.
over Garchomp. Doesn't beat Go-Go. It's still not that great, but the shiny...
I wouldn't say so. Yeah.
No,
Go-Go's better than Fraxure.
Go-Go is just a solid design. Okay, now here's another argument I'm curious about. Where would you put Dragonair on the list?
Go see Poliwhirl.
Yep. Because I think we might not agree on this either. I'm just guessing, but
I'm gonna place Dragonair at second.
okay, I thought so. I'd put Dragonair over Poliwhirl.
Well, that's objectively wrong.
Oh, is it now? Okay, you're gonna. What's your reasoning here?
I have absolutely no problems with Poliwhirl.
You don't.
None.
Okay.
I see Dragonair. I have a problem with like that whole fixture thing for the bead or the circle bit, and like under its chin, and it looks too bold. It's just I like it, and it's quite close to Poliwhirl, but you know the bald bead thingy, whatever.
Yeah.
Is, that plus it being kind of bold just puts
Probably
it down
call it an orb.
an orb.
Yeah.
Makes more sense. But the orb placement and the boldness puts it
Man,
down a
I feel
step
like
or
the
two.
boldness is not fair because it's not always looking down like that. I know it's harder to see in the sprite, but I don't know, man.
It's just it looks like an old man. Makes me
I don't get it. I don't quite get it. I mean,
an old man or a baby.
come on, dude. Poliwhirl doesn't even have enough of a head to look bald. That's not even a good diss.
It doesn't bother me. I have no issues with Poliwhirl. I have no issues with Poliwhirl.
I don't even think Dragonair is that much higher than Poliwhirl. Poliwhirl doesn't speak to me as much as a lot of Pokemon do, but it is a solid design, definitely. It's it's high tier, I would say, but I do think Dragonair edges it out.
Can't agree.
We might have to do the
Shiny Breaker.
Shining Breaker again.
Because it's just the orb and the boldness.
Yeah. I don't actually know what Poliwhirl's shiny looks like. Haven't seen it before, I don't think. If I have, then I don't remember. And I really like Dragonair's shiny. Oh, actually, no, I did look at this. Because I put them in the video as well. Okay. I will say,
I like the shiny.
yeah, I might.
The lighter shaded blue is pretty nice.
It is nice.
It's a good choice.
I gotta say, it is nice. I really do like Dragonair's one, though. I really like the pink.
Ooh, the pink and the gold.
Yeah, the goldish yellow on the tail.
I gotta say, the gold looks good.
Yeah.
I don't care for the pink, really.
You don't?
Nah, not particularly.
You think? What's wrong with the pink?
It's...
You think it's a bit much?
I think the shade of pink just stands out too much.
Like too bright?
Yeah.
Because I can see that perspective. I don't agree necessarily,
I
but
think the shade of pink is just sort of too bright. I like the gold though. The gold's fine. It's just the pink is...
Is this enough for me to convince you though that it beats it out? Because I'm still... Poliwhirl shiny is nice.
Well, yet again, I look at Poliwhirl shiny and I'm like, I have no issues with this. I cannot look at it and find a thing that bothers me.
Man.
I'm not a fan of the pink though. It's a bit much.
Do you think Poliwhirl has a more they're almost a similar... I do like Dragonair's color scheme better than Poliwhirl's. Poliwhirl just has a solid color, and it works perfectly well. But it's not as interesting, I guess.
You mean like base color scheme?
Yeah, the base color scheme.
I would say base color schemes, I probably do like Dragonair's better.
Okay, because I'm trying to convince you here, because I don't want to let this one go.
I mean, if we're talking shinies, it's not.
Maybe I'm gonna have to kill Poliwhirl a bit here, if I can manage to do that, because I don't think there's any other way. I don't know, man. It is a solid design. The feet look sort of weird. The feet look sort of weird. You don't think the feet could be better? What if it was wearing some, like, white shoes like the gloves? I feel like that might be an improvement.
Ooh.
They're weirdly rounded and the ankles are sort of thin. You get what I mean?
It's quick, but I think you won me over just on the feet.
Really?
Like...
I was trying to pull it out, but I actually do think...
Looking at those feet now, they look like they need to be covered in some white shoes. Gotta say. Like, They went for the boxing glove thing with the hands.
Yeah.
They should have done it with the feet. Like, they should have done...
Like,
some
imagine just some, like, more, like, solid shape of shoes, not weirdly round like that. And the ankles do look too thin.
I'm fine with the ankles, but the feet... They should be covered by a shoe sort of thing.
They should be... I'm just thinking of Kirby now. Like, don't take off your shoes, dude.
Gelatinous, blobby feet.
I won you over with that one then? Because I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take it.
I'm giving that over with kind of... not the best feeling, but... Yeah.
Okay.
That you did it with...
You know, I like this, though.
You did it with the feet.
I like this series of events because to win each other over, we're gonna have to go back and shit on some maybe good designs. Got to pull it out and actually find something like to.
I did not.
We need solid reasoning.
Well, looking at it now, I didn't admittedly, I don't think I gave the feet enough attention.
No, I don't think we did either.
So
this is useful.
I guess Poliwhirl's going in second.
Yeah, I really do want to put Dragonair over Poliwhirl.
Hmm.
I think it really works. And yeah, you gave it to me, so no takesies backsies. And yeah, I guess maybe that's it for this episode. Am I forgetting something? I feel like I am.
Check your list.
Yeah, I'll check my list. He's checking it twice. He's gonna find out. Oh yeah, I was gonna bring up. So I am doing a living dex at the moment. Do you know what a living dex is, Jacob?
No idea.
Okay, I thought I told you, but I guess you weren't listening, or I didn't tell you.
You could have,
Whichever.
and I just don't know it by its name, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
It happens a lot.
So it's like you have one of every type of Pokemon, basically. Like, in a physical sense, you catch one, you fully evolve it, then you breed it, and say you've got a 3-stage evolution. You breed 2 of the first stage, you evolve 1 to the second, so you have all 3 of them, basically. So living dex is when you have 1 of every single type of Pokemon.
I don't believe I was told this.
Okay.
But
I feel like it... I don't know. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. You know now. So that's what I've been working on for a while. So I have 407 caught right now, and I'm going on some particular conditions just because they're things that I've always done. So every Pokemon I catch in a Pokeball, for starters, everything. I don't use any other ball. I fucking hate it. I don't want to see any other ball with the Pokemon coming out of it. The other thing is that I have to catch them myself. I do not want to trade. If we're talking about catching them all, if I didn't catch them, then...
It doesn't count.
No, I don't understand how people can be alright with getting... Like, they're like, oh yeah, I scored this legendary because I traded it. Like, what the fuck? You didn't catch that.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. And
Yeah,
this is
not the
annoying
same.
because... I mean, for Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee at least, on the Switch, you can't trade with yourself on the same console. So if I wanted to get everything in that game, you can get things from Pokemon Go, which could fix that for me. I might not need to trade with myself for exclusives, but I'm hoping for the next mainline Pokemon game, you will be able to trade with yourself without buying another Switch, because it'll be fucking annoying.
Buying another Switch is just kind of absurd.
Yeah, so I have 407 right now. I'm counting that as finished versions that I actually have. So say I had a Bulbasaur and evolved that into a Venusaur. I'm not counting the Bulbasaur and Ivysaur in the numbering because I haven't, got them again and evolved them up, basically. So I'm at 407 individual Pokemon right now. That's where I'm at. So I will update on that at the end of these episodes. Just to have a fucking segment to do that, just fill the time. It's probably something that people might want to hear on this, I guess. And I'm eventually going to go for the shiny living dex because I'm stupid. And, I mean, you catch a few shinies randomly and you're like, oh no, I want to do this now.
These ones.
Yeah, and then you think, oh, there's gender-specific variations of Pokemon. I'm going to have to also get those. which I'm doing that now. I set myself up for that. I'm doing that now. Different forms also that
See why I don't bother with this franchise?
see why I do bother with this franchise, because if
You're a
in
cuck.
if you're into
You've been cucked by Pokemon.
no, I will get them all except mythicals, but don't get me started on that. Okay. I guess that's it then. Any questions, suggestions, and reflections on the show, you can email us at notverycast@gmail.com. I might even read them out at this
Maybe.
very place, but we have had none yet, so there are none to read out here, so I will
None
move
yet.
on. To see our perfect list in all its glory, and Jacob's current favorite. Oh, so I guess your favorite is still Poliwhirl.
Yep.
Because I convinced you on Dragonair, but you wouldn't call it your favorite over Poliwhirl, would you?
No.
This is what I want it to happen, because it's interesting.
There we go.
Okay, so we live in a world where Jacob's favorite Pokemon is Poliwhirl for another week. So if you want to see his current favorite and the list, go to notverycast.wordpress.com. You can listen to a new episode every week on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, or Twitch. See, we got some places. I got some places in the last week. Those are some places.
Big yeet.
Yeah. Tell us how wrong and stupid and bad people we are for our opinions on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, or the subreddit. You can find all those links fairly easily. We could be convinced, but we will not change the list. On the Patreon is where you can find all those links. My rhyming ability is really coming in handy for this podcast. Go to patreon.com/notverycast and extend the green hand of currency to lift us out of our terrible, terrible lives. Terrible this week, Jacob? Still terrible?
Slightly better than terrible.
Okay.
It's been an alright week.
My throat's been pretty bad for no good reason.
Sounds
So,
great.
yeah, it's not. You can get monthly bonus episodes and vote with your wallet on your choice of Pokemon to be featured on the show, probably, unless that changes again, but I'll let everyone know if it does.
What bonus episodes are we starting with?
Oh yeah, we are about to record right after this episode a bonus episode on Detective Pikachu designs that we're going to pick randomly. We have a short list of those. For now, it will probably get longer at some point when I can get some consistent artwork. I'm just using the TCG card set right now. Feel like that's enough to judge them. Neither of us have seen the movie, but we're gonna, if you've seen a Pokemon, that's enough to judge them.
Exactly.
We don't need to see the movie. And I'm too sick to leave my room and see the movie, so get fucked. I'm just gonna judge them. Okay, your Pokemon for this week were Fraxure, Binacle, and Dragonair. That is not the order in which we rank them. You cannot skip to the end and cheat. Always remember, if you've ever seen a Pokemon, that's enough to judge it. Bye, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.
So many designs, 809, trying to find which are divine and which are just fine. From Aphrodite's wireless, the bland and eclectic, they're gonna realize it's not very effective.
Dun 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 dun. I think that was Seinfeld.